and I think now we got to get to a little bit of the IndyCar wildness, craziness that
I was hoping you were going to bring this up. Yes.
unfolded right before we went on air here to record. We talked about it the past couple weeks. We mentioned it for sure last week about the latest reports and rumors from Marshall Pruitt that he was hearing and reporting that Marcus Ericsson was going to be on the move to Andretti Autosport. And about 2 hours before we started recording this pod on Wednesday, that news became official. After these final three races, Marcus Ericsson's time with Chip Ganassi Racing will come to an end, and he will be joining Andretti Autosport in 2024. Now, I thought it was in the 28 ride, but is it still yet to be confirmed?
I don't know yet. Yeah, I don't think they announced a car number. Not yet. But I mean, what I want to get your thoughts on that for like when you saw that, obviously, race fan Joey, now that you know these guys too, what did you think? I mean, what did you think? Because I think we saw it coming, but that's a big switch. Big switch.
It is, and we did. Again, I know we all trust Marshall Pruitt and his, with his reporting, and the guy's pretty plugged in, obviously. So we knew that there was a very good possibility that this could happen, but it's kind of a similar conversation that we've been having about Alex Palou in a different light, right? When you look at the success that Marcus Ericsson has had with Chip Ganassi Racing, you don't have to list it off, but obviously 500, multiple wins, the guy just constantly in it. To then go to a team like Andretti Autosport, who, yes, financially and name brand recognition, one of the big dogs, but it wasn't too far ago. It was just earlier this year before Kirkwood won two races this year that you had Townsend and folks talking about, is it really the big three, or is it just Ganassi and Penske, and then you take a step down and there's Andretti? And so that kind of goes in my head, and I saw even a buddy of mine who posted about it, and he was like, oh yeah, the move to Andretti worked out so well for Hinch and Grosjean, and trying to think off the top of the other person that he said. And so you do think a little bit about like, okay, I understand that, trust me, you want to be wanted, right? You want to feel wanted. You want to feel like you have that recruiting pitch to you about how, hey, come here. We would love to have you. We would do this with you. You could change our situation. You want to be wanted. I get that. But at the same time, it's like, just like we were talking about with Palou in a bit, is it worth the numbers and the results that you've put up with Chip Ganassi and the proven top dog 1-2 punch in IndyCar that they and Penske are, to go and take that deal with Andretti? And now I don't know the financials. Maybe he's getting paid an absolute fuck ton. And it's like,
yeah.
Hey, I got my Indy 500 win. I'm getting paid a shit ton. They want me. Chip was kind of screwing me over a little bit. Give him the birds, right? And he just said, I'm going to go there. It's tough, man. It's really interesting and tough to think about what Marcus Ericsson is going to become next year and beyond, just based on the different drivers that we've seen make the switch over to Andretti or be a part of Andretti, and if it's not gone so well.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to look at, because sometimes when you get into this sport, as any young driver would, right? I would say not a lot of young drivers or not a lot of first-timers in IndyCar get to enter the sport at the top level, right? Marcus Ericsson got to enter, with Errol McLaren, the Schmidt-Peterson team, and then boom, right to Ganassi, right? And so he won the Indy 500. The guy has had an incredible record with Ganassi, because Ganassi are the best team. Like, they are the best team for sure right now. Everyone will tell you that. And it is a bit of a risk, but again, the situation that Marcus is in, right? He had to bring the sponsor to Ganassi, like Husky Chocolate. If you don't know, that's Marcus Ericsson's sponsor. Like that, Marcus Ericsson is a guy like me bringing Bitnile and partnering Bitnile with Ed Carpenter Racing. Like that, those were deals that were, we have, started, right? And so like, I can't think of Husky Chocolate's not going to be on, name any driver next year. Like Husky
Please
Chocolate's
want
not going to be on
Lundqvist.
Kyle Kirkwood's car next year. You know what I mean? Like they're with Marcus, right? So, but I think Marcus gets to a point as well where maybe that, I don't know if that sponsor is like, hey, you know what? I don't know if we're going to be able to pitch in as much as we can anymore, but Marcus does not, like, Marcus should not need that anymore. Marcus should be like, hey, we don't care what sponsors you have behind you. We want you, and we need to be, paying you. And honestly, with how tough this business is, maybe Chip didn't have the sponsorship to be able to be like, hey man, sorry, we can't do that. This is part of the game.
Racing fans, hit the gas on nonstop action. Add DraftKings Sportsbook to your race day lineup and level up the thrill of every lap.
New customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. While I can't personally bet on IndyCar races, stay tuned throughout the whole season to hear Joey's insight, especially during the month of May.
With props, parlays, and more, the action won't stop till its checkered flag drops. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code SPEEDSTREET. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code SPEEDSTREET.
And Andretti, honestly, I think what they are doing overall is really powerful right now. They've got a lot of great things going. They're involved in NASCAR. They want to be a Formula One team. Gamebridge, Group 1001, Dan Tauris and Michael Andretti, they are making a power play to try to be the best. And I respect that. I think that is, if you've got the ability to do it, right, you're going to have Colton Herta, Marcus Ericsson right out the gate. Those two guys are like, all right. Is Grosjean coming back? I don't know. Obviously, Devlin's not going to be there. But that's a powerful driver lineup that they're aiming for. And if they're willing to pay Marcus Ericsson handsomely, look, as a driver, you're going to go there because Andretti is not in a bad spot. Like they are race winners this year. They are competitive at the Speedway. They're competitive almost everywhere. And I know about that organization after kind of, loosely working with them with Shank this year. And it's still an incredible organization. Fantastic engineers, great crew guys, great leadership. So for Marcus, again, I think for him, he's won the biggest race in the world with the best team in the sport. It's not a backward step. It's just, hey, you know what? Different environment, maybe a long future ahead with a great paycheck. That's what I think people have to remember, right?
We don't do this for his own. Yeah.
We don't do this just for fun. Like in the end of the day, we got to make money doing this. You know what I mean? Like this is something that does put the food on our tables. And good for Marcus. He deserves it. I respect that move by Andretti. I respect that move by Marcus. And it seemed like quite an amicable situation rather than some of the other situations we've seen with driver announcements and all kinds of chaos in the Alex Palou camp over the last couple of years as well.